Do you have your first co-host? Do you want to?
So, how was your week?
Let's just do this better. Okay. I'm good to go.
Okay. Oh my god. Another week.
Another week.
Here we go. How was your week?
How was your week? You did a lot.
We just cried.
Your life has been insane this week. When you arrived here, the energy this week on what I think at one stage I did say to you, we can move Saturday to a later time, but just don't come with this energy.
I think I was hyperventilating when I voice noted you. Like the anxiety has been really high.
No, you were typing, and I was like,
oh,
so
yeah, no.
It's that typing.
It's been very hectic. So repainting my house at the moment, and it's just so funny to me how I just did not think at all that it was going to be intense.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a simple paint job.
It's intense because you're also staying in the house. I think if you weren't there, you were just popping in every day. It would have, because I mean, the other night we had a prep call and you had no place to sleep. you were sitting on this call and you were just like, yo, sorry, I have to go because I mean, I need to go find a place to sleep. And I was like, it's 6 o'clock.
It was insane. And then it was so funny because, so that was on Thursday, and then Friday, the contractor messaged me and he was like, where would you like me to place your bed? Because of the fumes, they don't feel safe with me sleeping in my bedroom at the moment. So like, and I was like, don't worry, like I'll do another night on the couch. Not thinking the next time that coming in is only on Mondays. So now I'm on the couch for the whole weekend, which is hilarious.
Gosh, are you comfortable on your couch?
It is a comfy couch.
Okay. It's a tiny couch though. But
it's big enough. It's fine for a night a week. You know?
Like accidentally falling asleep on it. Yes, sure.
Yeah, that is totally fine. 4 nights, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 nights, it's not going to be good. Just based on that, I nearly cancelled today because I was like, I don't know.
Exhausted.
Yeah. But we made it. Here we are.
You made it. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
My absolute pleasure.
We've also changed the setting, so it's new, it's fresh, it's exciting.
Yeah, a little change of environment. Change is as good as a holiday, they say.
I'm not feeling the holiday. I'm not feeling it. Like, I'm ready for a holiday.
How was your week?
My week is I'm ready for a holiday.
Right.
That is my week. It is insane what recovery is taking out of me. Like, it is literally taking every inch of my life. But it's fine. Here we are. Positive.
Here we are walking on the prom.
Waddling on the prom.
I'm
not going to call that a walk. I have dignity. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there are people passing me that are like these old people. Have you ever been on the prom and you see these old people, like they have these very quick strides, the couples?
Yes.
They look down. They don't say a word, but they're like in sync. Yeah. They're in sync. I'm not them. I am the girl slowly shuffling. And the thing is, the further I go, the slower I shuffle. So it's extremely unattractive. And, you know, also when you're trying to walk away from someone that's like, I don't know, breathing loudly on the prom. Like, I'm now, with them. I'm just like, please leave. You know, like, there's nothing I can do. So it's quite hilarious. It's insane. Yeah, it's insane.
Do you know what's so funny is that I'm so embarrassed about going to gym, like, in general.
Yeah.
And I'm so unfit. Like, my body was not ever designed to work out. So every time I go to gym, I make up a story in my mind about no one knows what journey you're on when you're in gym. So if anyone asks me, like, not that anyone ever
just say
would.
you have spine surgery.
Literally. Yeah. I'd be like, I'm recovering from like a major surgery. This is why I can't run on a treadmill.
But listen, when I'm in the gym walking on the treadmill, but I don't know if I've ever shown you that video. I'm like on 2.7 kilometers per hour and like white knuckling the bar because walking on a treadmill is more unstable than walking on like flat surface.
Sure, so like that makes sense.
Yeah, your stabilizers work a bit differently. So literally, I'm like, I don't know what this looks like. Someone needs to actually record me.
It'll be me. I'm gonna come.
But I'm literally white knuckling the bar in front, where normally the trainers would come and be like hands off. I'm like gripping on it because the thing is you have to work your stabilizers and actually do so.
Okay.
On 2.7 speed, and I've actually gone lower. I literally went like 2.3, and I was like, fuck my life. Like, what is
I
this?
can just imagine people going around like hitting each other's hands.
Yeah, off with that. Like what? And then I remember there was this one young guy who obviously came to do like a warm-up run, and he was next to me, and he just kept looking at me very concerned. He's like, "What are you doing? You might as well just breathe."
Seeing as we love making t-shirts,
Yeah.
can I just make you a t-shirt and be like, I've just had spinal surgery?
Like literally, if it could have been a law to make a sash also, because you know how nerve-wracking it is to walk in a mall. Also, people are like going.
Yeah. Well,
it's
I
really
remember when we did our Christmas lights situation, and we went to that really busy house, and you were just like, I'm just gonna stay outside because people are going crazy getting through that house.
Yeah, but I mean, they were like aggressively wanting to see Santa. I mean, I get it, but that house was also lit. I mean, that house was amazing. And literally lit, and figured like the theme was the Omas were outside selling Timu stuff. Like
Harry Potter vibe. It was very cool.
Next year, this year,
yeah,
this year.
2025.
But no, I was super afraid because I think someone did bump into me in the driveway, and I was like, oh. Do not break me any further. No, that was super scary, to be very honest. It is. I would love a sash.
Okay. I feel like it can be organized.
I feel like the thing is, the old people, they have the Zimmer frames, and then you're automatically like, oh,
why do we not?
You know, I'm like thinking of a little walking stick, bedazzled walking stick.
Oh my God, a pumpkin.
But can I get a hook so that
I got my pumpkin.
But I want one with a hook though, so like I can just hook something or people.
Like if Mary had a little lamb vibe.
Oh, a bedazzled, obviously.
Also, I do
with flames at the bottom
and racing stripes,
and like a massive grip.
Oh yeah,
bottom, because you don't want to like screech in the mall. That's
is it going to be like a suction, like a plunger, like a toilet plunger bottom?
Extra stability. I feel new business has just been born. Extra stability, suction cup. This is what all people are craving. But anyway, just a little signal for the world to not judge me when I shuffle. The other day I was in Canal Walk also to return something, which was insanely hard. I'm not going to.
You don't have to hide what it was. It was your vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. Sunnet. Can we have a moment?
Sorry, not a vacuum cleaner. Oh, yeah. A Roomba.
And Roomba. She's dead, and she's not working. It's not confirmed. It's now with the people to let me know over the weekend. They're going to phone me. They might phone me while we're recording this, and if I miss that call, I'm so devastated. But anyway, so I took her in because my life is literally a mess. Literally a mess.
It doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, because I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying my best. Like, that little thing has changed my life, and I learned that from you. Actually, you got a little one.
Because I have that thing. Like, I'm destined to want to live a hair-free life.
Yeah. So ironic, actually.
Yes.
No, the reason
they're saying ironic because what? I'm a hairy person.
I mean, I so badly want to backtrack to the moment you said I'm going to do an everything shower once my apartment is finished. That is an inside joke. I'm not going to share. I won't put you through it. But anyway. Can I just say the way I found out you had a little Roomba of your own is I just this one morning heard
going on top. Yeah. And they're probably bashing into things as well.
Yeah, and sometimes when you live downstairs and you have neighbors upstairs and you hear a bit of a hum sound, you automatically think something else.
Right.
It wasn't a washing machine this time. And I was just lying in my bed thinking, this girl's so bold, like again making more noises. And then I think you boldly proclaimed, oh, I have a little vacuum. And I was like, thank God, because I was thinking something else.
Okay.
My neighbors now do other things. They have other things.
I've heard. I have not heard. I've heard via.
I've heard late at night, early mornings. Yeah. Because the thing is, I can also pick up the charger on my phone on Bluetooth. So I tried to connect. Because you can connect. You can pick up the charger. Because I Googled what the link name is. And boy, do things come up. Boy. So that's my new neighbors, and I mean, kudos to them. All I can say. But that's how I learned you had a little robo. Yes. Got myself a little robo, and I think it's 3 or 4 years, and she was the best. I think she's retired now.
She's retired. Okay, so you're at Canal Walk and basically fighting for your life.
Oh yeah, fighting for my life. I was shuffling back to the car, so like midway, I stopped for a little iced coffee, and like a girl was chatting to me, and I was like, she was very preppy, and I was just not feeling it. I was like, thanks, just give me my coffee so I can leave. And literally, as I shuffled, this chick came back in the other direction. She already passed me and was walking back. And I was like, this is humiliating. Just look down, like, because it's the smallest little thing. I can't explain it, but I can see my feet going in slow motion.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's excruciating.
It's part of the journey. I'm so sorry.
It's part of the it's unattractive as hell, but it's part of the journey.
I want to quickly draw attention to your all pink outfits and just ask, is this an ode to Sir Valentine for Valentine's Day weekend?
It was Valentine's yesterday. I would not know unless the shop didn't give me a rose, actually.
Cute!
The shopkeeper saw girls desperate. I was like, thank you for recognizing and seeing me.
Oh my god, at least you got one.
I know, right? But I had to spend money for it. Like, I had to pay for love.
Oh, so they didn't just give it.
No,
you bought yourself a rose for Valentine's.
Basically, I paid for love.
Okay, I get you.
So that's what we do now. We pay for loving. Anyway, no. So I got the little rose, and she's living her best life, and she's gonna stay alive forever.
Yes, that's as they do.
So no, I just love the color era.
You're in it.
I'm in it. It's like it was actually last year. I don't know if we ever spoke about it. Like last year, it was like a bit of an inner child moment when I was just starting to paint my nails also bold colors. Remember the blue? And
I know all the colors. I didn't realize it was like a choice that was made.
It was like just time to have fun, because all the years in corporate and working for certain brands and stuff, like you have to show up in a certain way. I want to say, like you have to show up. You're representing the brand.
Nude colors.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, I just naturally felt like I had to do that. It wasn't like in a manual, but it was part of that whole process and time of life. And that's great. Currently, myself and Bianca is watching my cat scratching my newish couch to slithers, and we're trying to be professional in the potty. Anyway. Oh, what a blessing. So, anyway, so I'm living my bright color era, and I actually am loving it. It's like
amazing.
It's just bold. But anyway, we're going to get to outfits.
We are.
I want to start the day by drawing a card.
Oh, yes.
A little tradition. Again, from our Alcoholic Anonymous. None of us are alcoholics, yet this week I feel I need to be. Oh, progress, not perfection.
Ooh. Again, it feels like they really are just always relatable to whatever we're going through.
If my physio Wade could see this, he'd be like, oh, so proud. Because he's like this chirpy, happy, anything is progress,
not perfection.
And I'm like, screw you, I would love to lift something heavy again.
Yes.
Bless him, I actually did apologize this morning for my foul attitude. Second side of it, recovery is not something you get, it's something you work for.
Okay, so this is where you're referring to the fact that they bring in the whole alcoholic recovery. But funnily, I mean, you're recovering from a back operation, and it's perfectly as applicable to your journey now.
My spinal surgery is exactly the same as Alcoholic Anonymous recovery.
Yeah. I'm fortunately not recovering from anything. I'm perfect. So.
Recovering from life.
Recovering from life.
You are perfect. But what a good one. It is a good.
That is a good. I love it.
Progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the body. Progress.
Yes.
Progress.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Listen, we had some really amazing feedback this week.
Super proud.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was so
Chinese
cool.
thing to do?
It's this. It's this. But also I never say millennials, but we're millennials. The ones younger than, I think the Gen Zs, they do the weird.
No, they do this.
No, that's old school. They do like the, I don't know, it's not that. Oh, it's this one.
It's the,
they go like this. I don't know.
We are not made for it.
Should we do?
Anyway, we had some feedback. I think we should read it. We actually prepared some notes.
Cute.
Some notes.
Very professionally printed out notes that we have right here.
I feel like Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey with a ginger cat in the background. If only she had this, she would have still stayed on TV. Anyway, thank you for featuring.
This is how you know we're not AI generated.
But also, I don't want to be like so rude. I'll be like animal cruelty, but my cat is a lot. Okay, you're just gonna have to deal with it. Actual guest on the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll get to the guest segment as well. You assholes that are all like, oh, I want to be a guest. Anyway, let's go to the feedback. So I thought it was really cute. I didn't expect this level of feedback, which I'm so grateful for. Yeah. It was really cute. Very excited about baby Connor's feedback.
Yeah.
We are launching Feed Friends very soon.
Oh yeah, so basically mentioned
Love the Feet Action.
Love the Feet Action.
Yeah, love the feet
Funnily
action.
enough, we were watching Love is Blind, and every scene.
Did you watch it together?
Yes.
Every scene without shoes on.
No, but there are a lot of scenes where girls are not wearing shoes, and every single time he was like, feet, and
feet.
And I was like, are you into feet? Like, what is happening? He's like, I'm actually not, but I noticed it on behalf of those who are.
I noticed it on behalf. That's into it, my friend.
But anyway, if we need to monetize this podcast in any way, shape, or form, and if it comes down to feet friends, then it is what it is.
It's going to be feet feline friends at this rate that it's going at. I'm not going to lie. We had Chanel, which wants to know more about the Umi next door.
Oh,
which is it is an epi. We planned it this week. It is an epi that is going to come to you.
So we want to do, and you guys can give us feedback on this. In between our big episodes here and there, do like little side quest episodes. So we'll call them side quests, and any queries that you have, or stories that you want us to elaborate on.
Sorry, I'm like not.
I think this is going to be very distracting.
It is going to be part of our lives. It's going to be part of our lives. Unfortunately, it is his house.
But so anything that we touch on that you want more on, we can do it as a side quest episode, and then we'll do like a short little 20 minutes chat or catch up and let you know the full scope of if we don't get to it in the main episode.
I agree.
So I think that's very cool.
That's going to be cool.
Thank you, Chanel, for that feedback.
Melissa, our Namibian audience.
Oh,
so
are we international?
We are international. You will. I mean, we're on Namibia. It's enough. It's full completed and enough. I really hope everyone's watching this because then we've just really drawn home why myself and Bianca cannot contain ourselves.
If you are only listening, we've just got the best little
mascot.
Yeah, our little mascot.
Anyway, but he's Bless. Sorry, I actually cannot. I'm so embarrassed by my middle child. Anyway, it's probably how my parents must have felt for years. Then there's Melissa who said hilarious. Thanks for laughing at our lives, Melissa. We're grateful for that.
I appreciate it.
This is exactly what we need for our confidence, so we're very grateful for that. And then we had Theo.
Oh, yeah. Old Theo. Great job on the pod, going places.
We are going places. Currently nowhere. So if you could like and subscribe, it would be great.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I just wanted to also mention on that where it says going places, we didn't actually ever discuss where we are going with the podcast. We've never said
like the podcast itself.
Yeah, like what is our greater intention?
To have fun.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
For me, that's why we said this podcast.
I thought it was a mental health podcast where we give very accurate and meaningful life advice to people.
This is where I need to pause because we had this conversation also in the week where we prepped a little bit, and it's like, we can give tips and we can do this, and I think you speak to like I want tips on money, and I was like, that's great, Bianca. You cannot get it by us because we don't have any. But I love the enthusiasm of like, we're going to give tips to people. And
I think there'll be a little bit of relatable content where we can share our experiences and people can.
About being poor, yes.
And also being mentally not
unstable.
Yeah, unhealthy.
Yeah.
Traumatized.
PTSD, all the good things.
Yeah, and anxious.
24/7.
24/7. Okay, 100%. So that's where it says going places. I thought it was quite interesting that we should elaborate on where we are going.
I think for us, this is just to have a bit of fun. It literally, this podcast just came up out of nowhere in a conversation one afternoon. You were like, your eyes lit up, like, oh, cool, let's start it. And I was like, oh, cool, let's start it. And it literally just grew. It didn't just grow. We'll get into that. It was a lot of intentional planning. Yes, this is a lot of work, people. A lot of work. But it's just to have fun.
Yeah.
And talk a bit about stuff.
And maybe make some money off our feet.
Not maybe. It needs to happen. And thank you to Baby Connor for being the first one buying us.
Thank you.
Noticing feet for my friends. Are you kidding me?
Anyway.
We have Ismay, loved it, very cute. Thank you, Ismay. And then we had our mates down under.
Yeah, in Australia.
You said it was cute.
So cute.
So sorry, yes, we are international. To go full circle.
We are international.
And thank you to Tez for his UK account, also making us international there.
I love that. So that was quite funny to me because pre-launch, there was only one person's feedback that meant anything to us.
No, it wasn't feedback. Yeah, yes, sorry, go on. Yes.
The feedback and kind of, we only had really one person showing a lot of interest in when is the podcast launching, what are you guys doing, how's your sound coming along, what equipment do you have, etc., etc. And thank you, you really built up our confidence to get to the place of launching. And then took like a week.
Yeah, I'm very super disappointed in that. Like super long delay in getting back to us and saying this is great. No, not jokes. I'm sorry. Like every other day, like where's the podcast? How's it going? Did the editing app work? And then nothing.
We were waiting. You're the only person we actually wanted to impress.
And it's never going to be enough for him though. I feel it's just you're never going to impress him because. Also with Tez, he's like that friend who's done absolutely everything in life. So you'll say to him, oh, I don't know. I was an ice cream maker at one point. And I'm like, yeah, I worked there and I built a whole business and an app making ice cream. Like he's done so many things in his life, which is incredible. You'll never be able to upstage him.
Fine.
Yeah, but disappointing to say at the least for the feedback.
Yeah.
Took forever.
And
then obviously he did comment on our outfits. His words were nailed it. Even down to the old outfits, which my dog can create, knocking over paint in Builder's Warehouse. So, and I mean, it brings us back.
What? These are not designer?
I mean,
what?
We paid a shit ton for them. Which brings us to, we actually also did the FAQ section. I thought that would be quite cute.
Yes.
A lot of people were just like, the outfits.
Yeah, that was the overwhelming feedback.
Which I didn't think it would be the outfits.
It was such a non-thing.
It was a non-thing, but we did show up looking exactly the same. But it wasn't like, oh my gosh, people are going to want to know about the outfits.
Yeah, it's quite amazing how that kind of came up.
It's a hilarious one. So then Johan also had feedback and he said he'll give matching socks.
Okay.
Which is not enough though.
I think,
do better.
No. Come with matching socks. Socks they literally come in pairs. They automatically match.
Yeah.
So
and also, we are not about to hide these feet.
Oh.
We are sitting on prime real estate. We are sitting on prime real estate. We are not about to hide these things.
No.
Socks. No, my lovey.
No.
But anyway, the outfits came about because we went to the Millie Market.
We went to Milnerton Market, which is going to be a core part of the theme that we're kind of going to tackle a little bit today. But we went to Milnerton Market, and it was so funny because
it was my first outing also. You drove me there.
Oh, yes.
My first freedom little outing.
Yeah. And I think the idea was just to go browse. And there was one store specifically that I was avoiding at all costs. And it was this shop that had like fast fashion items in it. So I'm trying to move towards like more vintage, secondhand lifestyle. And this one shop, I was just like, I'm not going near it. Like, anyway, I catch Elsha in there, browsing around. I'm like, okay, let me just go have a quick squiz.
Yeah, let me just like support my friend.
Yeah. And I see her next looking at this, and then I see these two dresses right next to one another. And they're being sold for 250 Rand each.
But also, sorry, I picked them up and I was like, because again, I was in my color era and I thought, okay, cool, more color. And then you said, podcast outfits. You brought that up.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And the uniform.
Yeah, the uniform, podcast uniform, and I was like, immediately yes. Like, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. It was a weird, like, looking at the colors. There were only two. It totally screamed the vibe that I think we wanted to go with. I love it. Bold. Yes. And anyway, so the funniest part of this whole situation was the fact that they were on for 250 each. The sales lady comes over to us and...
No. You were like, no, you were very adamant about this. So I said, oh, yes, that'd be amazing. Let's buy them. And you, Bianca, you were very much like, I'm not paying full price for this. I am not going to go, like, if we're going to buy two, there needs to be a better price. Like, you were super, I got this. There has to be a better price. We're buying both for heaven's sake. It's like all the stock basically on the shelves.
I'm happy to part with $400 for both dresses. That was my final offer on it. Yes, it was just, so they were 250 and I said, no, I'm going to offer her 200 per dress. We get 100 Rand discount.
But guys, the confidence in that. Like,
it was very much.
I was like, okay, cool, chill girl, it's fine.
So she comes over and she's like, are you interested? And I was like, yes, but I'm not paying a cent more than 200 a piece. Come, let's cut a deal here.
We need to talk here.
We need to talk.
Yeah.
I'm in my negotiation era.
And also, your whole body language is like, literally.
I channeled Erica.
But I literally moved to a different side also of the tent because I was like, not going to be part of this. I was like, this is going to go down in pieces. This chick is going to be like, honestly, it's 250 a piece already. In my personal opinion, if you get something that covers the top and the bottom for like under 300 Rand these days, bargain, I'm buying.
You're winning.
Like, you're winning, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
And then literally you have this whole... Oh gosh, I wish I could record this because you were like very much in your power mode. You know what I mean? I am not paying more than 400 Rand for this.
In my power.
Yeah.
And then her response was, well, they're on sale for 100 Rand each.
And that's when I swept around the corner. I was like, calm down. No problem whatsoever. Bless that woman's kindness and honesty. And I think...
I know, I said it to her.
Yeah, you still said you could have just made more money.
Yeah. And she was like, that's not how we do business.
That's not...
And totally commend and respect that.
Because I would have been like, no problem, that's a deal. I would have been like, bargain, absolutely, ma'am. Let's take it 150 at least.
She could have haggled me down, you know.
I think you also wanted a bit of haggle. You wanted that muscle.
I was practicing for when I go to Kathmandu. Like,
I mean, that was the story of that, and then literally you were so smart because we hung up, we came home. That was a planning day for the podcast.
Yes.
Came home, we hung up the dresses, and then you started doing the branding all around the dresses. I'm not sure if everyone realized, but the whole branding is around these two iconic dresses.
Yeah. So if you look at the logo, I've used elements of this in our logo as well. Yeah. But hashtag I'm a graphic designer, JK, but low key, did all the design for the podcast.
Literally. So if it sucks, it's her. It's not me. It's not my job. But yeah, that's how these came about. So it's actually quite hilarious. We got a lot of feedback. But this is them, guys. It's the Millie Market.
Millie Market dresses, sadly fast fashion vibes, but for the purposes that they needed to serve, they were the only option.
And I think we're going to let them live. I mean, I'm trying to let them live here. They do, when you stand up, feel a bit like abattoir dresses.
Right.
Like, I mean, but we are going to funkify that.
Yeah. I mean, I might change it up every episode. I think you've already done that, which I love. Yeah, we just kind of tweak.
We're going to live with them. So stay with us. You're going to see these guys live a lot. Not sure we're going to go out in public in these.
No, unless you do like live recording.
Literally, I was thinking about this morning. We can sell tickets live recording.
Okay, yeah,
that's going to be so. And we'll also do that bare feet for the feet friends. We'll do that bare feet.
We'll have a camera angle just on the feet the whole time.
That's going to be disgusting. Yes, we can do that. Oh, Lord help us. Lord help us. But listen, then besides the outfit feedback, so firstly, also thank you for appreciating the details, because
it really says a lot about our viewership and listenership, and you're exactly the type of people who we want to be on this journey with us.
Besides Days. And I'm joking.
Stop, don't be mean.
Oh, too late. Anyway, so that was that. But then we also had a lot of like, I can be your guest on the podcast. No, for many reasons that it is fucking hard to create a podcast. It's a lot of work.
I think it's just so funny because it's almost like,
also these people, like, do you have anything of value to say? Are you traumatized enough to be on this podcast?
Have you been to enough therapy to come with proper insight to give meaningful advice?
No, probably that is most likely the most unhinged guest that we actually do want. But no, we've paid a lot for our therapy sessions, and it is rewarding here. But no, I'm like, people are saying, "Oh, we're fantastic."
It's just there's only one guest spot available, and it's been taken.
And it's been taken, and he costs me a fortune as well in therapy. He's caused enough trauma in my life. I'm not going to lie. This little ginger minge. But anyway, so that has been one of the funny things. Where did you get the outfits? And also, I will be an excellent guest on your podcast. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. This actually takes a lot of work. We also underestimated the amount of work this was
100%.
But we were super intentional about creating this, and I think that's what people don't appreciate about podcasts as a whole. I appreciate content creators now. Funny enough, even though the irritating ones, because it is commitment. And then podcasters, because there's a lot of work that goes into it. We took a month actually of every Sunday, at least 3 to 4 hours to like hash out some things, to set up all the accounts, to create all the intense design work, to source the outfits. Like there was a lot that actually went into it.
No, it is a lot. And I've received feedback where if you mention you're doing a podcast, it's like, are you really doing a podcast? Because I think one does underestimate how much work goes into it, and it is a very easy thing to just be like, oh, I want to have a podcast one day, and then to actually do it
is a lot of work.
Proving to be a lot of effort and energy, which I don't regret for a single second. I mean, it's the best ever.
It's a lot of fun.
This is acting as a form of therapy in of itself.
Should I bill you?
The other way around.
Oh, damn it, no.
I spent petrol money getting here.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, what I wanted to say and add to that is, we're also doing everything ourselves.
Oh, right.
It's not going to a production house. You are literally the production house with your editing skills, like, which blew me away the first time. Insane. I would never be able to do that. But like, we're doing everything ourselves, which is like, this is why also it's sometimes a mess.
It's, it can
but
be
sometimes incredible.
Yeah. I do want to just say, I'm absolutely hugely appreciative of our new layout. Just because now we've got a full view of the
No, you have a full view.
Outside.
I have a view of my very strange next door neighbor who...
I'm sure you've got a little bit of... There's some ocean over there.
No, it's currently blocked. But also, I can literally just look into my neighbor's house. I don't know if you know, you weren't here with COVID, but like he sat naked on that little balcony, tanning his behind in full view. I kid you not.
There's definitely a word for this, and someone's gonna
bathing. It's terrible, but he sat there and he was just so happy to do it, and I obviously sat and watched because I was mesmerized. But like, how could you do it? Like, it's just such a little odd, strange little man living opposite me. Yeah, bless.
Okay, so you've got that view.
Yeah, the street and this block never fails to
never fails.
Yeah, never
disappoint.
Yeah, never fails to disappoint. But anyway, what we actually also wanted to tap into is why we went to the Millie Market.
Yeah.
And also actually why we created this podcast. And that was because of your list, which is currently now occupied by my cat.
I know, I'm going to have to disturb him
who's most likely going to also drool on it. So we're going to attempt to get this off. Sorry, my man. Here we go. Anyway, sorry. So Bianca, you in the beginning of the year, so as friends, every year we kind of meet up and have an annual plan.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
And I think
our kickoff meeting.
Our kickoff meeting. We had a kickoff meeting. Last year, you invited me to Bootleggers in Garden Centre, and you were like, "Cool, shall we have a little catch up and annual vision board meeting?" I was like, "Yeah, cool. We're gonna speak about it." When I got there, you had notebook, color coded pens, laptop open, and I just sat there and I was like, "Hi."
Didn't bring my list. Didn't bring my diary.
Nothing.
I was hugely disappointed.
You were.
Because New Year, New Me energy is a strong time to just like get the ball rolling.
100%.
And we are not business partners. This isn't like a professional kickoff meeting. It's just a friendship kickoff meeting,
which is awesome.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah. So we did that, and then it's the beginning of this year in last year when you created the list.
I want to say like November last year.
Okay. Yeah. So then you created this list. And it's actually a flipping cool backstory. I love it because I've seen the change in you when you made this list.
Thanks.
So I think it's really cool to speak about it. So physically show them. I just physically show them what it looks like because I think it's always so cute with your handwriting and everything. You make a lot of effort.
I'm going to read the title. It's called. This was what inspired the list. Things to do instead of trying to find a boyfriend. What you've got.
Fitting for Valentine's weekend.
Yeah. So there it is, my little list. And
so just quickly, just back the list. Just read the title again.
Things to do instead of trying to find a boyfriend.
So why did we get that title? I think just paint a bit of backstory as to how you got to this point.
Okay, so as we touched on in the previous episode, I've spent a lot of the last, I want to say like 2.5, 3 years very viciously and actively dating. So I've been on the dating app,
which I loved. I mean, I relished in it. I relished in it.
It was the stories. We are going to do an episode about boys, right? Of course. We're going to do an episode about the boys.
It's basically going to be a monologue for you.
Boys.
I'm just going to sit here. I'm not going to be able to say much, but yes, you can have that episode. No
problem.
Thank you.
Thanks. So there was definitely a time in my life where all I wanted was a relationship, and I wanted to find my soulmate or boyfriend.
Absolutely with you on that.
Yeah.
The difference again is just to highlight you were on the app actually doing the dating. I'm waiting for that person and soulmate to be next to the in the shop in the apple aisle. Oranges. I'm more orange.
Okay.
Oranges is just like hand on hand romantic moment.
Every time you start that sentence, I'm just imagining.
Yeah. So that was our different style in dating. So you were out there dating.
I was out there dating. But I started noticing a trend, or it actually wasn't something that I noticed over time. It just kind of hit me like a brick in the face. And that was essentially that after 2 years of having multiple very short-term actual relationships and then a shit ton of dates in between, that I wasn't developing anything substantial. And I really just looked at myself and realized that I haven't fully developed my ideal lifestyle. I think I was using wanting to have a boyfriend as a way of like kickstarting my life. Like I mentally, I've kind of always had this thing of like my life can't start until I have a partner to do all these things with.
100%. But I can share in that vision. Like a silly example, I would love to go kayaking, but I'm not going to go alone on a Sunday.
That's why you have me. Can I add that to the list?
You can add that to the list. You can write it down later. But yes, but still, like, that's a silly example. But I think so many of us do it in the smallest of ways. Like, I don't know if like women in particular. I think men might also do this, like men comment. But it's a relatable thing.
So on that note, though, so we think, I don't want to do this thing until I have a partner. But you can go do it without a partner and still get all the same types of benefits out of it.
Yeah.
But it's almost like that's exactly the kind of block that I was having was I don't want to do these things because it's things that I want to experience with a partner thing. But the things that I was putting off are also very valuable parts of who I want to be as a person. So that's why I said, water what you've got. The kind of second aspect to it was the fact that I was investing so much time and energy into random people where like I would go on Hinge, board on a Friday night, download the app, match with someone, chat to them Friday, Saturday, by Sunday we're going on a date. There's a whole weekend that I've spent distracted. Maybe I've got coffee date with a friend of mine and I go, but all I'm talking about throughout that whole coffee date is this person that I matched with on Friday.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm checking my phone every 5 minutes for messages. I'm so like not engaged, so distanced and wasting time, not investing. And then at the end of the day, I go on these dates, I see these people 1 or 2 times, or maybe we see each other for 6 weeks, whatever the case is. And at the end of it, it doesn't work out. It comes to an end and I'm left in no better position with being in touch with myself than I was before it started. So that was kind of the main contributing thought pattern around.
Yeah. And I must say you were very rushed also through life then. Like you were going from one to the next, like your schedule was always so packed and you were very, not busy, but I could see like you were not running, I don't know how to explain it, but there was a bit of a rushness to it.
I think I was just packing my schedule.
Yeah, you were really packing it and I don't know if you packed it with things that you actually loved.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It was like that plaster over the whole analogy. Like I was trying to fill a gap that wasn't being filled.
Yeah.
And so essentially on the day that I made the list, the idea was the reason I called things to do instead of trying to find a boyfriend, it's basically things to do the minute that my brain defaults to boredom to the point of wanting to download Hinge. What can I do instead of doing that?
Listen, there is nothing as more entertaining as downloading Hinge and seeing what's happening on there. We've said this before.
I know.
Lord, but it's entertaining. But yes. Okay.
So that was really the...
Did you feel also when you obviously before you didn't have the list, did you feel a bit like, yes, I would love to do all these things, never get around to it?
100%.
Was that happening? Were you feeling a bit like unhappy with, not elements or parts of yourself, but were you feeling a bit like, I would really love to do these things, but I just don't ever have time?
So a little bit of that, but also a lot of looking around at my friends and really admiring their life. Like my friend Abby, who is really amazing with spending time in her garden. And she'll always, like every time I see her, I'll be like, oh my gosh, look how amazing those pants are. She's like, oh yeah, I went to a market and found them here. I went to Bredasdorp and found a little market there. Or, oh yeah, and Andy and I went 4x4ing and then we landed up at this little putt-style. Or like any of my friends just doing really creative, fun, different kind of things, and it's because they are they're investing time in living their life. And so that was a huge point of reference for me as well, being like, oh, I actually need to be proactive in doing these things to, and it's again about it. I would love us to right now start a counter of how many times we're going to say the word intentional.
Yeah, 100%.
in this episode. But it became a point of just being more intentional with wanting to develop myself.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay, so that's why you started it. That was the backstory of it.
That's kind of how it started. And that it's rung true from when I did it to now. The most amazing thing was
this podcast.
The podcast point number 30. No, but what was incredible was the minute that I wrote this list out, all of a sudden I was like, I don't have time for a man in my life. I've got too many things to go do. Like my life is so full. What do I need anyone for? And it was crazy because all these things were floating around in my head somewhere. But the minute I put it down on paper, it was this point of reference of just saying, okay, now it's go time. And if there was ever like a point, I could just immediately look at the piece of paper and be like, that's what we're doing today.
Yes. And I mean, from that, the new year, I think the first time I saw you in the new year, you came to my flat and you were in the zone. We sat on this very couch, or not this very couch, but the couch in the room. And we had the best conversation for like hours. And like you were really present and we were catching up and talking about all kinds of cool stuff. That's how this podcast started. Because you were present, you were here, you were not chasing anything else actually. You were
100%.
just right here.
Didn't have back-to-back plans.
Yes.
Which is also another thing that I've stopped doing.
Okay.
It's just not planning things back-to-back. But yeah, so that's kind of how the list started and thing. Can I go through a couple items on it?
If you're happy to share, I'm happy to have them. Let's tell
my gosh,
people.
we must. So number one,
Cool.
so the other thing here is creating the life that I would want, irrespective of having a partner.
Yes.
So that's the point that we touched on. Is a lot of these things are things that I felt like I couldn't do because I didn't have someone.
Gotcha. Okay.
So number one, go bird watching.
With a partner now?
No, by myself.
Okay, but I mean, did you feel you couldn't do that without a partner?
Yeah. So I'm like, so we need to load up the 4x4.
Okay.
We're going on a little camping trip, take our binocs, go sit in, and do that. And it's just like, I'm like, actually, no, I can do this by myself.
Yeah.
Maybe get murdered in the bush.
100%.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
Murder
by yourself security, like I am.
Now
inside joke.
There's a pending update. There's an update coming in hot. Practice my Rubik's cubing because I used to be able to Rubik's cube in under 2 minutes. In fact, I think I even got it down to one minute.
But now you just have a Rubik's cube dress, so
I know. I just am a Rubik's cube.
Full circle.
Work on the different projects that I've got on the go.
Cool.
Number 6 is making plans with friends, which seems so basic. But it's literally, I think as adults, it's so easy to get sucked into Instagram, go onto an app.
It is.
And like not be intentional about making a plan with your friends.
Or chase that thing. But I mean, that's what we did very well without actually realizing, again, with the Christmas thing. Because we were super, like, we were planning, we were organizing.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way things are going to happen.
It is. It really is.
And I don't know,
adult friendships, very much so, yeah.
I mean, I think I told you on that day when we caught up in the beginning of the year, these friends that live in America, and obviously America's huge and they're scattered, but they have these really intentional, sorry for the word, planned annual trips. Yeah. And the girls just plan it and they meet up, come hell or high water, it's in the diary, everything else goes around it, and it happens.
Yes.
And I mean, I can also testify, yes, I have amazing, cool friendships, but we really do stuff outside of the norm. You know, like we see each other drive past in Cape Town, cool, hi, we go for a quick walk maybe. But that's about it. There's no amazing memory building. There's no adventure. I don't know, like it's really, it's because everyone's just living moment to moment. No one wants to plan and commit even to the plan. I have a lot of those friends that don't want to commit to the plan, which is quite sad. But I mean, that's their style and it's their vibe. But you miss out on a lot. You miss out creating a lot then.
And time, the weeks just come and go so quickly if you don't carve it out
100%.
Properly.
Yeah.
I have a thing where on Sundays, I have a every Sunday calendar reminder that I have to send a follow-up voice note, text, photograph, whatever via WhatsApp to all my international friends.
Amazing. I have another friend, Melissa. She does that as well. Every Sunday she would also sit and check in. I mean, that is a skill. To do that, and
if you don't time block it, it's so easy that it just falls to the wayside.
Yeah, I also think because both of us are more in the business owner space, meaning our responsibilities are quite a lot.
Yes.
You know, so firstly, like you're tired on a different level, your attention is being pulled in 100 different directions. Your phone can ring at any time of the day. Like, it's hard. I think when you're maybe a bit more in an office setup and it's a 9 to 5, where you don't think about all these things, because our minds keep humming 24/7.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like,
no, 100%.
My mind is humming about stuff 24/7. And again, bless Des, because I just like send him random messages on this, and the poor oak is just taking it. Daddy hits me because he loves me. But like your mind just goes the whole time. So it's not like this routine. It's up and down the whole time. And all of a sudden I wake up and I have a new idea, and then also I'm calling like my tax guy.
The way that your brain operates is absolutely mind-blowing.
Silly little thing.
It's really...
Thank God for all the anxiety-driven childhood here. It's mold to do that. You know what I mean?
I remember when you had that job booked for December that was going to fall over like 12 days.
Yes.
And you had already planned like the whole schedule of who's going to come feed the kids, who's doing this, who's driving past at what time to make sure that the curtains are still closed, and it was so amazing to me that I was like, I never think that far about. Case in point, the fact that my flat's being renovated and it got to a point where I had no bed and I was just like dealing with it.
My mind just automatically goes there. Like, I don't know.
Amazing.
It's like a domino effect. If one thing falls, I can see exactly how it's going to pattern out. But trust me, the years in not corporate, but in businesses and working for other people, how that, I want to call it talent, has been slated, because I can so quickly see a plan is not going to work, and that is not something you want to say to a dreaming entrepreneur or I can see how the plan should be planned out. And if you don't have an organized entrepreneur with you, or like whoever, client even, you're swimming up against the stream. So it's an exhaustive talent almost,
right?
Because you can see how it's going to happen. People hate me for it.
Yes.
There's few that love it, but people really hate, because and also I don't have a filter, so I'm just like, not going to work. Oh, they'll give their dream. I'm like, no, it's not going to work. Like, not even. I think at one
You've
stage,
done it with me before,
obviously. I mean, with everyone watching this.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been in meetings where someone's like planning out this dream, and like you can see they've literally spent so much time looking into it. And my face is just like, no. And then this person just said, fuck it, Alsh, just give me something. Like, give me something to start. And then I realized, oh shit, I actually need to just breathe a little bit and then entertain it. But I also don't have capacity for that. Like, you're wasting my time.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, very bad. But anyway, that is partly skill to it. But anyway, so part on this list was also renovating your flat, correct? Yeah.
So, well, it was work on getting my Airbnb going, which there's so many things that are falling into place.
Yes,
that are now
amazing. So what, November, December, Jan, let's call it 4 months into this list of things I can do not having a boyfriend.
Yes.
And I mean, so far, what are we thinking? Because I'm laughing because I know the answer, but I mean, we spoke again. We had a prep meeting this week prepping for this. And I was like checking in. Okay, cool. How's the renovations going in your chaotic flat? And 4 months into the list, what is the update? What is the holistic update you want to give?
I want a boyfriend so bad.
It is hilarious. I remember the moment.
I'm so irritated.
The moment she said that to me, I literally wanted to die laughing. I was like, oh, how the tables have turned.
Well, it's just so it's interesting. So yeah, it's.
But 2 steps back, you were also last weekend. You had I touched on this. Can I just rewind a lot? I touched on this very point when I was in the hospital with my back up.
You did,
and
exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you could relate to that moment when I said it as much.
All I had a 42-hour long migraine, and all I had was your voice in my head saying, when you were at your lowest during the back up, how badly you could have just had someone there to support you. And in that moment of my migraine where I was on the verge of getting sick, and I just didn't want to interrupt anyone's day, I just heard that sentence coming to my mind, and I was like, it's now, and I want a partner so badly.
Yeah. I want to also just backtrack a couple of steps and ring fence this. So I'm at no point that feminist or that woman that hates on men. I think men are flipping amazing. I always no. I mean, obviously there are arseholes and people out there, but you get that in women as well.
Sure.
So I've always been love men. I don't know.
You are very much like a traditionalist in that way.
Yeah, sure. I mean, but I've just had incredible men show up for me in my life, giving me opportunities in business even. There's not been one woman that's opened a door for me in business. I just want to put that out there. No woman has ever actually opened a door for me.
A podcast can become a business.
100%. So can Feed Friends. But men has actually always shown up a lot more for me, which is amazing. But I'm not that girl that's I can do it myself. I've always been the hopeless romantic. Also, I completely share your thing, but just to full circle it for everyone, when I was in hospital, I had to make this decision of operating, and I had a roommate who had a really cool boyfriend that he showed up also a lot for her. They were 3 months in, but anyway, he showed up, and I was just watching the scene next to me, shit, this girl has someone, and she also had a full circle family with her, mom, dad on both sides. I think friends also came through, so it was really cool to watch this thing go on. And then I got my MRI report, and I was lying there. And I just also have to do a shout out that I had amazing friends in the medical field that just stepped out on their weekends, just helping me through it. They gave me advice. They looked at my report. Now my physios, obviously, but I mean they were just beyond, because they're a couple partnership business, and they both just showed up for me on a weekend, looking at everything, saying cool. If I didn't have that, I think I would have thrown myself off the second floor of Mediclinic. But I mean, I just had people that really showed up, and people even showing up in the hospital, Lily with food. She was there every day, with my laundry. You showing up with stuff. You also put lots of snacks, and it was just insane how people showed up. But still, you were I had an incredible network, and even my roommate said, "Wow, your network is insane. You have no idea."
Yeah.
But I was lying there at one point, looking at my MRI report, saying, "This is really scary."
Of course,
it's really scary. You're alone, and it's literally just knowing that someone will be there during the op, balancing ideas, coming home,
has your best interest at heart.
100%.
That's the thing.
But my point is, I had a lot of people that did that for me. But to have your person, just it's a different level.
Yeah.
But then I realized a couple of things why certain women would settle for maybe a bit of an duos, because they just don't want to be alone in that moment. They fear being alone in that difficult moment, because it is hard.
Yeah.
This is the kind of my first one when I really felt it. I've been through a lot of stuff, but this thing really brought me to my knees.
Yeah.
But I realized why women sometimes settle. Like they'll take the ugly fisherman pluckies. They'll take the stomach hanging out of the t-shirt, or try and dress them up and get the fixer upper.
Yeah.
Do not face this moment alone.
Sure.
I get why. I don't agree with it, but I get why.
Yes.
It is kind of humbling, and it is actually also like it changed my list as to how I would choose someone.
Right.
Because I think until you go through a difficult life situation, you don't really have on your list how do they react when you're in hospital. I don't know. That wasn't as in the forefront as I think it should be.
Interesting.
I just had other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not the vanity stuff, but that was never on my little manifestation list or checklist of like, what is this oak like when I physically cannot walk anymore and lost all strength in my right side of my body? Like the girl next door, her boyfriend, 3 months in, she had like a stomach issue. I swear that if she asked him, can you help me into the bathroom and sit next to me while I like shit myself, which is shame, bless her heart, he would have said yes, which is like,
that is what you want in a partner. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway, so those were my things that I realized in that moment. And I think I said it to a couple of people, and they're like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yes.
But then it was so funny this week when you actually could like chime in and relate to it.
100. I mean, not to compare spinal surgery with a migraine.
Please.
But
I must tell you how I humbled a boy fissure also with that. But anyway, yeah.
But yeah, it really did make me realize. And then also like repainting my flat, revamping. Like having to repack and unpack everything and just doing it alone, you really do realize that there is so much value in having a partner.
Yeah.
That being said, bringing someone in when you haven't really reached your full authentic self results in what I've gone through in the last 2.5 years, which is connections that can't get further than a certain point because...
Ooh, I have an interesting angle on this, but finished.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's basically it. I feel that with this little list of mine in play, I'm more likely to come across a better suited person for me by doing things that are for myself anyway down the line than I would have previously, if that makes sense.
100%. But I mean, I just want to backtrack to where you said, because I might take it off a little different tangent, because this is where I was for so long. Is like to become more authentically me. It feels to me, and it's not what you are doing, but I was on that treadmill where I was trying to become good enough or perfect enough or skinny enough or achieve enough to qualify to have someone in my life.
Interesting.
And I just think a lot of the psychology and pop psychology out there on podcasts and stuff would go into the thing of reaching your authentic point, and then you will attract or have the person. Which is like scary, because when is that going to be? We're continuously evolving. So I think, sorry, I just want to finish this. I think this whole thing about authenticity is actually more building enough confidence to continuously be authentic in every situation. It's more the confidence building than actually becoming more authentic.
Sure.
And it's like getting this person who's willing to where you can be vulnerable enough and build your confidence throughout life. And it's like choosing that person based on continuously evolving, having space and vulnerability to do that.
But you're doing it for yourself and not for other people.
Yes.
And so your confidence, I swear to God, I have not looked at what my face looks like in 3.5 months.
I'm joking.
But it's like, I just don't care, because I'm too busy doing things that I want to be doing, that I'm not finicky about like, oh, do I have something on my face, or like, yes, I care about my appearance and I want to look good and whatever, but I'm just not hyper fixating on superficial aspects of who I am to appease someone else. If I meet someone in a hardware store finding paint for my bathroom tiles,
yes, the orange moment we both reach for the light bulb, yes,
then at least it's happening while I'm doing something that I'm not trying to meet this person in an insincere way.
But that's also a level of self-acceptance.
Yes.
It's like literally saying, this is my list, this is what I enjoy doing, and screw the rest that doesn't really fall into this category.
Yeah.
Because I think that's also a lot, but I don't know about you, but I definitely did that. You know what I mean? Like, you just want to keep everyone else comfortable in friendships and in romances. Like, you just want to keep that person comfortable, so you change who you are, and then you go down a massive rabbit hole of that. But I mean, I can, definitely.
Yeah, I think there's a magnetism towards people that are more sincere towards who they are as a person. If you, I can assume that that's how the energy and science of it is.
Yes.
With not a single fact.
Yes.
And it hasn't happened for me yet, so I can't even base it on like my true life story.
Is that why you're going to Boulders and all these places now?
Yes.
Well, attention, all hot boys, please go. But this is literally us before we started recording. Bianca says she has to go to Boulders, and I'm like, oh, go to that one because it has a nice Boerewors fan. I don't know if we're going to meet our matches doing it the way we're doing, but
we both grabbed the boerie roll.
Yeah, we both went for the same roll.
We both went for the mustard.
Listen, that's romance. If you're both enjoying a little boerie. What is is it Lady in the Tramp when they both
with the spaghetti?
Oh, with Boerewors rolls. Oh, that is romance.
In the Boulders parking lots in Monitor.
Literally, and I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to plug in Boulders. They haven't sponsored us yet. But yeah, I mean, that is quite, that's quite something to have that true support show up for you. That's quite something.
Yeah.
But it's something that, again, I'm grateful that I'm 35. God, I'm turning 36 this year. Oh my God, I just realized that as I'm sitting here. Oh, what a
It's closer to 40 than it is to 30.
Wow, thanks for saying it like that. How old are you again?
Turning 33.
Like a
spring chicken.
Spring chicken. Oh, the fun that's going to happen for you between 33 and 35. It's such a humbling period.
I do really feel humbled. Sorry, I saw a study the other day. So it was, I didn't see a study. I saw a woman doing a reel about a study that she had seen.
Yeah, please don't steal someone else's content.
No, and I wish I knew who it was, but so basically it was a graph, and long story short, it was taken from OkCupid, or a statistic from one of these online dating sites from back in like the early 2000s. And what the study was basically looking into was, what is the age range of interest for women in different periods of their life?
Okay.
And what is the age range of interest for men in different periods of their life? For women, it was always like, if you're 25, you're going to be looking between like 25 and 30. If you're 30, you're going to be looking between 28 and 35.
Sure. Yeah.
So as you get older, your age range goes up with your age, give or take a couple years. Men, straight line, they're only interested in 20-year-olds.
No, that
doesn't matter if they're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, the age stays the same. So this is why as we get older...
That can't be the truth.
According to the study that this woman
according to Instagram and TikTok.
Allegedly. Allegedly, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I know. So we are basically, we fucked.
That's great. That's that is a great statistic. Oh, when you say it like that, it's really sad. No, I mean, we had this conversation in an apartment overlooking Clifton. I don't know if you remember this conversation.
I remember the apartment.
Yeah, we all do. But we were sitting there in this idyllic vision of what a Clifton apartment must be, and we're actually baking because the sun goes down. Those apartments are horrid because the sun goes down over the ocean and you fucking bake inside those flats,
and
sweating.
It's so noisy with everyone on the beach.
Why did they do that?
Why are they living their life? Like, we just want to be peace and quiet.
But we were fascinated. People coming for like yoga and volleyball. Yes. We were just like, this is like,
I'm like, I would not be caught dead on a beach at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Middle of the week.
No, that was the whole thing. It was like on a Tuesday.
But listen, anyway, sweating in that flat in this amazing, expensive property, hating it. And I remember you saying to me, you can sit on the couch, don't sweat on the couch. Because it was just expensive furniture, and you were like, anyway, it was hilarious. But I was sitting there saying, I think we did it the right way, because who I was at 25 and who I'm at 35 are completely two different, call it bipolar, call it whatever you want, two different people.
Right.
Two different people, and
I do recall this conversation.
I'm so grateful. We're sitting there 35. I had time to. I hated every single minute of it because I just so badly wanted a partner since I was like 20.
Yes.
But also my list of partners changed dramatically. Like, if you asked me to marry at like 21, 22, I would have wanted to be like a farm wife, having children, which is completely the opposite to what I want now. I definitely would love a little cottagey vibe.
Sure.
But not the children running around. Like, that's a different chat.
And like feeding the chickens.
I would love feeding that the chickens though. That's cute though. But I would want someone to help me with that. Again, I'm not going to be brave enough and do it all myself. Like, I want an off day. I'm not that organic ballerina farm. I'm not that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just the lifestyle I would have chosen for myself at 21, 22, 23, 25 even, not to mention 26 to 33, would have been like night and day to where I am right now.
Yes.
And the stuff I'm choosing right now, or realizing, oh shucks, this is really important that I find someone.
So what is your type?
Oh my god.
I'm joking.
That's a podcast for completely a different story. But yeah, the list of thinking, oh shucks, I really want someone that's going to support me. Listen, I've been chatting on dating apps now because I've decided also I need to make a plan, because it's not happening just staying on my couch. Let me tell you that. No one's coming into your house and saying, hey, do you want to be my partner? If only they did.
And after 7 years, I feel like you've probably interacted with every man in Frederhoek at the spa. So that
I try and avoid contact, actually. I try and avoid eye contact. But yeah, so I mean, I've been dating, and some of the questions that come up are quite profound. Like, you can very quickly pick up, oh, this is actually a nice chat. I mean, I had one foul instance when the guy, I think we brought this up in the previous podcast, where he asked me what fills my cup.
Yes.
And funny, I had anxiety about answering that question, which I took to Eve, because I didn't know how to answer it because I don't have the perfect answer.
Right.
And she was just like,
progress, not perfection.
Progress, not perfection. And then she said to me, well, what am I afraid of? What if I just answered, I'm figuring that out right now? Which I was like, oh no, people will hate me for it. Like, you'll sound like a flake, whatever. Weeks and whatever went on, and I've had more mind shifts, as she would put it. And I was chatting to a guy recently, and I think he asked me something along, I can't remember the question, but he asked me something along the lines of, what is my most calm, restful state, Elsh? Like, what is she like?
Wow.
And I didn't, it's a profound question, actually, which really is amazing to get, because it can be so superficial when you chat. That's the part I hate about these chats.
Yes.
It can be so silly, like, oh, you're there, like, you know. And I literally just said to the guy, I'm figuring that out. I don't know who she is. I don't know what that version of Elsha is. I've been literally brought to my knees of like living a peaceful, slow, literal, physical life. I don't know what that looks like. I'm not used to it. For 15 years working, it's been high pace. And his response was, I love that answer.
Oh, amazing.
And I was
how profound.
That was quite like, but
it seems so like,
it was quite interesting, but it was interesting because, again, I was authentically honest.
Yes.
For the first time, like, I don't know who that thing is. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yes.
And then he was like quite open and receptive to it. And I guess thinking back to it, if I had to meet someone that on thing then said, oh, that sounds like you're lost, or judge me or shame me for the fact that I don't have the perfect answer, it would have been a no.
And indicative that that's not the right person for you. But also going back to the concept of not trying to be your most authentic self to attract someone but just sincerely being authentic.
Yes.
You will weed out those who are or aren't meant to be in your tribe.
Yes, but that you kind of need to really apply yourself to that. Unfortunately, I find, and this is possibly to do with how we grow up, or even just my life, it doesn't happen automatically for me. I need to apply myself to that.
Yeah.
Because for so long you've worked for other people, meaning not worked for them as an employer's situation, but you've worked to make them happy versus making yourself happy, or you showed up in your family to make them comfortable. This is yourself.
Oh wow! I mean,
or
people pleasing.
100%. That's people pleasing. Is it codependency a little bit? Shame Eve doesn't like having those binary attachments, which I agree with, because it can be very different and it can look very different for other people. But all I know is for so long I didn't do stuff for myself. I did it for acceptance or appraisal, approval.
Yeah.
For a type of growth that wasn't not achievable, but wasn't realistic.
Sure.
Because the dream was sold. All kinds of other stuff, but me.
Yeah.
But me. But it was quite a profound also for you to have this list so ready for 2025. It is literally middle of Feb. I still don't have a list. I've nothing.
Well,
and all the years, sorry to interrupt you, but all these years, I've always had a list. I've had like monthly check-ins with myself, achieved absolutely fuck all on that list. But I've always had it, and I've always kind of gone for it, but not in the same way that we are doing life now.
Yeah, I think there's been quite an interesting shift from your side. Maybe it was like the day that you couldn't walk and you just realized my plan is not my plan.
Yeah.
And in that moment there might have been like a little bit of like just death of the ego.
Yeah, I would say I had an ego death last year, but more in the workspace. Like,
right.
For so long I was working in like all these luxury, glamorous, amazing spaces, doing these amazing things, selling it. And it was fun. It is still fun. But I just think my why as to why I was doing it was shifting so massively.
Interesting.
After a while, it just became a bit gross for me. Like, I just can't relate to it anymore. I can't tap into the same energy as other people do in that. I still love doing it to a degree. I think the people I do it for now, because it's a service-based industry, like you're not going to get away from it. But those people are changing quite dramatically.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's not, the people who I'm serving, as in the service I'm offering, they are changing quite dramatically.
Yes.
I mean, we had that function even last year, me and you did together.
Yes.
And what they were chasing was just something I couldn't relate to. I couldn't relate to, I don't know,
the level of excess.
Not even the excess. I mean, it wasn't very excessive. It was the energy and the vibe and the ego and the prestige, not the prestige even, but what they wanted to show up and what they want people to believe they are.
Yes.
That was hard for me because it's not, I don't enjoy that anymore.
Yeah.
Do you want like a great space, great environment, party, celebration? You want it to look beautiful? Cool. We can do that. But the ego side to it was very hard.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't relate to it. It was the strangest experience, I want to say, from early in the year, mid-year, right until the end. I couldn't relate to 1 minute of it. Honestly, it became a bit not revolting is the wrong word, but it just became super distant. I couldn't latch to it.
It's amazing how for so many years you worked in that kind of setting and you kind of maybe without realizing it just gritted your teeth and got through it.
But also I was chasing something. I was chasing the thing of creating this amazing thing from where I came from in a small town and not having a lot. All of a sudden being propelled into a space that you're working with famous people, you're working with media, you're building things from scratch, you're head of production very early on in your career, you can do all these things, that you work for also a bit of ego. I mean, I'm very sure. The person I was then, no, 100%, I mean, the person I was then compared to now, I was chasing to be respected, to be seen, to be acknowledged, all those lovely little things, but now I couldn't care less.
Is there a specific reason why that shift has happened that you can put your finger on, or is it more just
I actually can't put my finger on it, and I think that's why it's so jarring for me.
Okay.
Because I knew what I was working towards then. Now I'm I'm not working towards that yet. That's why I can't make a list. I don't know what I'm.
That was literally my follow-up, is just to be because it's interesting that that's where you have always been so definitive in being able to have your list, your kind of mood board for the year, whatever the case is, and just not having that.
Yeah. I still have my goals. I still have things I would love to have in my life. I still have my fitness goals, which is been part of my massive life. I'll have an EP on that. I still have a lot of that is in play. That's not gone, but I think the way I want to achieve it is a lot more different.
Yeah.
It's the way also of going about it and how I want to enjoy the process.
Interesting.
Is a lot different. But it was extremely jarring for the bigger part of last year, not being able to connect with something that you've done for 15 years.
Yeah.
You worked flipping hard for 15 years. It's not 5, it's 15 years.
Yeah. It's all of a sudden insane.
That's gone. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everything kind of has its time and place. So it's happening for you in an organic way, ish.
Yeah, ish. I would say a lot, but it's still hard. It's not easy.
No.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, I can go on forever about it because I can talk about it in circles for so long because I would love for an aha moment to drop.
Let's just keep on talking until we get to the answer.
But it's not happening, so that's fine. But it's very interesting also the shift, and I'm quite at peace with it because normally it would freak me out. Slightly freaked out, but not as much.
You seem. I think I also made mention of this. You seem so much more at ease with this process than maybe you would have been a year ago.
Yeah, no, this would not have been tolerated a year ago. Like, suck it up. Suck it the fuck up.
Totally.
Yeah.
100%.
No. It would definitely not have been tolerated a year ago.
So it's almost you're being more intentional about being unintentional.
Yes.
Like going with the flow, not going with the flow per se, but like letting things fall where they may and having a little bit more grace around it.
Yeah, that sounds very scary when you say fall where they may.
It's not a biblical term.
No, not at all. No, what I'm trying to say is I don't know if I have that laxness yet. I still want to be super intentional.
Okay.
It's just I'm very aware of what are you actually doing. What is your intention behind doing it?
Yes.
So intentional is still part of the wording, but I think it's just I'm very aware of like why am I engaging in this? Why am I not engaging in it?
Okay.
That is the difference, I would say. And that's thanks to a lot of expensive therapy, but that is definitely part of it. Like, what is my why behind it? Like,
yes.
I know someone the other day said, you always have to look at the root of something.
Sure.
Besides the root, I love to look at what is your intention behind it? Because root is one thing why it started, but why are you engaging in it?
100%.
I think that for me is like
knowing your why is it's the biggest motivating factor to get anywhere.
But that's hard.
Like, why am I selling my business? I know exactly why I'm selling the business.
I also know why. I mean, I cannot wait.
And it has nothing to do with me wanting to sell my business, funnily enough. It has nothing to do with my job.
Yeah.
So that's also just super interesting. Knowing your why is really, really important.
No, your why and your acting, and I think that comes back to your list. Like you were like not hitting those things.
Sure, 100%.
You weren't hitting one of the stuff that you want to do. So I think that was kind of a big part of why you drove that.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Is there more? What is the next couple of months ahead of what you're going to tackle? Besides, obviously, you're going to launch your Airbnb now, which is exciting.
I'm so overwhelmed. When I tell you I'm overwhelmed, but it's the most exciting type of overwhelm that I can be because
it's like life energy.
Exactly. It's like I'm putting so many things in place that I want to be. So getting my little Airbnb sorted out. Obviously the party, which is fun. What else am I working on? Oh, my secondhand market.
Plug that in.
Doing all of that, guys. Couch Chucks Out is my little secondhand market thing. And just
which you're also loving, actually. I remember
I love it.
The first day you had a bit of a panic of like where to park and how to unpack. I did have a giggle because that was one of my questions. Like, that's why I wouldn't do it because I can already see the schlep of setting something up.
But yeah, it honestly doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, and
it's just so cool. So one of the main things for so it's very exciting doing all these things as individual projects. The one thing that I'm really working towards with all of that is having it all streamlined, even with my current job that I've got, my full-time job plus all the other side projects. I want to work out my systems and processes to flow. That's what I'm working towards now, is having all these things on the go, but having it not feel chaotic. And so I'm just working through that in a big way.
This week I also kind of realized I need to block and focus a little bit more. So I feel like I'm not focused. I am focusing, but like there's just a lot going on.
It just feels like it's all coming.
Yes, I just want to like compartmentalize and systemize my life a little bit more. I know this sounds bizarre.
It does. I can fully relate to. This is exactly how I'm feeling at the moment as well. So systemize, create proper time blocks for different aspects of one's life, especially with you working. You're also working on a lot of different projects.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, but I just want to pause. So are you saying you are not going to go on Hinge maybe anytime soon?
No, I can't. I'm too busy. I've got too much going on. I'm dying to see how differently the experience would go for me now that I'm more, maybe that like, even though I want a boyfriend for the bigger picture of things, to help me with my migraine, I don't.
By the way, the requirement is just help with migraine.
Yeah.
The rest you can suck at.
It doesn't matter. But this is the difference. I want a boyfriend or I want a partner. I don't need a partner.
Yes.
My whole life doesn't revolve around needing someone to go and do these things. I know that I can go and live my life totally fully now. So that is kind of the difference of, I would be interested to see how differently I perceive my connections online.
That's actually what I'm after with you also going back on. Like, it'll be interesting to see how you would then filter a lot more. Because you were quite good at one stage. You had lots of chats going. You were like out there. The net was casted. But I would be interesting to see how, if that would funnel down to just a few conversations.
But it's not happening anytime soon. Sorry, boys.
Sorry. But send your applications to me. It'll be funny to read.
What is our email address? likewhyusgirls@gmail.com.
Yes,
yeah. So if anyone wants to send an email through with your CV,
full photo, 3 months bank statement, actually 6, make it 6 months.
Make it 6.
Yeah, and definitely the investment portfolio update.
100%.
Your contact details to your tax guy, definitely.
Yeah, I want to know that. I like legal SARS behavior. You know, I'm not into tax evasion.
Do we? Any a good tax guy is like,
for legal reasons, I need to say that I'm not into tax evasion.
For now. Okay, no, that's interesting. Okay, cool. So we'll catch up on when you get out there again.
Yes.
So I think it'll be cool to see how you engage. Because I think then you'll know, okay, cool, my time is valuable. You don't have to go out or like have so many connections. Because I'm like very slim in those. Like I quickly decline something.
I'm very, so you're being more proactive. Listen, I know we had an idea of the theme of this episode, but it seems to have kind of gone a little bit all over the show.
We should actually just release our prep episodes because those are hilarious. Those are hilarious and off the cuff, but yes.
But so you being quite proactive. Any dates lined up?
Oh, you did that plug-in so carefully. I'm just more intentional about realizing I need to get out there. Okay. Which you obviously have preached to me for years.
Yes.
But it's just, we live in such a different space and time, as in Cape Town. And yes, we go out to all these things. I know someone said, but just go do more things. You can go to flipping anywhere you want to. It doesn't mean you're going to meet someone there that you know what I mean?
But if you don't go,
you're still not going to go 100%. But
no, but your chance of meeting someone if you don't go are a lot lower than your chance of meeting someone if you do go.
Yes, but I also don't want to engage.
It's 100% lower if you don't go.
But I also don't want to go to these things and meet people that I don't want necessarily in my life because how can I put this that actually
they don't
makes
have
sense?
to be a part of your life.
It's a wasting of my time.
But it's not a waste of time because what if you do? What if you do meet the person? I can't.
But like, you can't also start going out to things thinking, am I going to meet my person here?
Right.
That is an issue.
That's the difference. But don't go with that intention.
But obviously, we all go with that intention. Don't say to me you haven't gone with the intention.
No, I go to Buko 4 times a week at the moment with the intention.
Exactly.
I don't think I'm going to meet my husband in a hardware store. I hope I don't.
A little hairy butt plug just saying, hello, just need to buy plugs. No. So to go back to it, I am more intentional about creating my life as a whole. I realize I have to be more out there. My reason for not being out there is I'm flipping scared to be that level of vulnerable. I don't even know what that level is. So it's scary.
Yeah.
But so many people have said to me, are you even trying? Which was quite a little aha moment when someone said that to me. But I am out there intentionally trying to meet up people and going on dates. But I'm extremely refined as to when I would actually go meet someone for a walk.
No, you have to be discerning.
No, but I'm like, if I compare it to your experience last year, you would be more lenient to go meet up with someone. I'm just not that lenient.
Right.
I have a bit of a chat. If there's a good enough banter, cool, I'll meet up. Bianca, what an absolute fuck up. I'm sorry, but like, if there's one thing you do when you create a podcast and record something, that you have unlimited battery life. That is just one thing you have in absolute play when you record a podcast. You have charged microphones, you have charged mental capacity, charged vocal cords, and an unlimited power bank on your phone. And obviously, as we live and learn with episode 2, that iPhones do not have that yet, and that we should sincerely reach out to Apple to please improve it because our recording cut off.
Listen, I have the funniest thing to say about this. One of the other comments that I got, one of the things, the feedback that I got from someone, and I will tell you exactly who it was. Here. Baby Connor says, I was so impressed by the lack of technical error in your podcast.
No way. Well, baby Connor, firstly, this is for you. And then secondly, we failed. Our second one humbled us very quickly. Let me just put it out there. If I can just summarize, it was the coldest moment in my life, besides my heart always being at like a minus temperature. Getting up from that chair and reaching the phone that is just beautifully propped up, beautiful angles, beautiful backdrop, but it's like pitch black. There's nothing. And then the shock and horror of like refreshing the camera bank just to see if anything did happen. And thank goodness it did. I didn't know iPhones could do that, so kudos for that.
No, so the phone turned back on and there was no recording. There was no recording.
None.
And then somehow once it started connecting to the Wi-Fi, we exited and reloaded, and then there was our hour-long recording. By the grace of God.
Yeah, by the grace of what is. And luckily it got the crux of it, because I think right after that we did our traditional waffle, which I'm like a superstar in, but I think not everyone appreciates it. Many of my friends will attest to that.
Trying to cut us. I'm like, cool, let's wrap it up.
And Elsha's just like, kumbaya, my lord. You know what I mean? I was going for it. If I could have a tambourine in that moment, it'd be awesome. But so that happened, and I think God knows what point we were trying to make, and I think we're just going to leave everyone cold right there, and just let everyone know we are indeed humans, even though we are perfect.
Well, I think what we can definitely say is, why did we not have a charger plugged into the phone?
I can tell you why, madam. It's because our microphones go into my phone through that.
Right. Oh. Okay.
That's why you have two holes on a iPhone. Remember that back in the day? Remember when everything used to have two holes? And then people started changing that for some reason. Yeah. And I mean, this can go into many other topics, and I will let that be. But that's why you have two holes, everyone. That's why the aux little round pluggy was always legend. And okay, Apple ruined it.
So yeah, we've been humbled. This week has now subsequently ended a little bit more abruptly than we originally anticipated. Like, why us? Honestly, why? I think we needed it to happen though as a lesson, and next time we're just gonna have a timer. It's the universe saying we can't have an episode longer than an hour.
I will not be limited like that. Nothing will limit me. I'm sorry, if there's something like the Paralympics, nothing will limit me.
Well, here we are.
Here we are, and we're coming to the people and just rounding it off and closing it off nicely for everyone. Yeah. We cannot remember how it ended. This is our new end. This is the new end to the podcast. You can always comment and say this is how it should have ended, and we can pick up from there in the next one. I think we actually mentioned I was going to go on a date today, to be honest, and I was hoping that was now gone, and now I brought it up in this very moment, which is obviously my own fail again. But I'll save that nugget for next time, I think. Oh, there's a boys episode, maybe save it for.
Yes, I'm excited. Okay, so wishing everyone a fantastic week, and stay strong and prosper. We don't have a closing offline yet. Fine.
You know what we did do that was actually quite sickening. I was a bit sick in my mouth when we did that. We did like the millennial heart thing, and I'm so grateful that was cut out, because I don't think I was made for it. I don't think I would want that to live on the internet. So I'm very grateful that's not here on this anymore.
That's out of here. Okay, so well, thanks very much for the catch up, and so that we could like round this off properly, and we'll be dropping another episode in 2 weeks' time. So we'll wait for more feedback, like, subscribe,
should we comment. Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard, guys. I mean, it's sickening to speak to everyone and it's such a great podcast, but no one's liking, subscribing, following, rating, commenting. Like, it's not that hard. And if you don't know how, we can make a little screenshot video, or just DM me and I will just tell you exactly how to do it, because it's not that hard again.
And we'll take any and all feedback.
Oh yeah, we will. We will. Listen, I don't want to actually jinx us again, because my battery laptop also is warning that it's low. So obviously batteries in my life isn't lasting this weekend. I don't know what that signals for.
No. Okay, well, thanks. Thank you for listening, and thanks for the support. And we'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
And that's